was this old lady. Right, so the school that I went to was Connecticut College. It was in New London, Connecticut, which used to be like a shipping town, a whaling town. So like a lot of major in the like late 1800s, early 1900s, there was like a major industry of whalers that would go out and they would go all over the world. And a whaler is somebody who went to go hunt and kill whales. Before it became for whale oil, because whale oil was really valuable. So the town itself now is kind of like dingy because that industry was what built it up, and then it went away. But for a while, it was really fancy. And guys, I'm not going to talk over you. I'm already doing a nice thing where I'm having a sit in a circle and tell ghost stories and not do a bunch of work. Okay, so take advantage. Okay, don't take advantage. Okay. Take advantage of the nice things. Don't screw it up. Okay. So anyway, I think it was like Ruth's grandfather was one of these whalers, and he went around and he brought her all of these amazing things, costumes, pieces of clothing from all over the world, and so she amassed this huge collection of things. And then when she got later in age, when she was older, she started to become a really big supporter of the theater department at Connecticut College. She would literally go to every single production. She was there so often that they always had a seat reserved for her. I think she was probably a financial supporter too. So no matter which theater they were in, because there were several different theater spaces, there was always like Ruth's chair. And in this one of the theaters, Palmer Auditorium is the biggest one. There's this huge auditorium, and the booth where the stage manager is like way back up on the mezzanine balcony level. And so the stage managers are on headset communicating with anybody down in the house, and they're looking down on all of the seats. And so I guess after this one show was done, stage manager was still up in the booth and was on headset to the house manager and was like, hey, but the audience had all cleared out and was like, hey, I still see Ruth in her seat. Like, why don't you help her out? And the house manager was like, Ruth isn't in her seat. Ruth didn't come to the show tonight, which was odd because she came to every show. The stage manager was like, I'm looking at her. And the house manager was like, dude, she's not there. She's not there at the show. And then he came out of the booth and he looked down in the house and she wasn't there. And then the next day, her obituary was published and she had died a few days earlier. And so that's how like Ruth became our theater ghost, because she had been such a supporter. She just kept showing up to shows, I guess, and people would have spooky experiences and everybody had a Ruth story. And I had just heard this story, but I didn't have a Ruth story, and I sort of felt like left out. I was like, oh, man, stop. Dude, that's scary.
It's just she's shaking her legs. So
oh, yeah. My bad.
She's here.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Don't freak each other out. Come on, be nice. So I was feeling jealous, and then the weird thing is, so then that led to, it was my senior year, and I had actually just finished up the production that I was in when I was a senior, which was Reckless, that same play that we just did. And I played the lead character in Reckless, and I had like come this whole full circle of like when I first started, I had this tiny little part in the first show we did. It was terrible, but I had that awesome costume. And then I got bigger and bigger roles, and I just like grew a lot as an actor and as a person. And so by my senior year, I had the lead in the play, and that was really I felt really accomplished. So it was right after that I was doing all that costume clean out, and then it was weird. I said it out loud, waited a few minutes, not even waiting, but I said it out loud, and we finished our work, and we came back in that one dress that I basically just asked for. It was hanging and swinging. That was really creepy. But it was also a little nice, because I was like, oh, she watched me in my shows all this time, and I felt good about it. But I also was like, that's a ghost. So that's the backstory to Ruth, because I feel like the origin story of Ruth is a little bit creepier than my story, but because I didn't experience the origin story of Ruth, I felt I should tell my own. Okay. The next ghost story. Actually, does somebody else want to go, and then I can come back and tell my next one. Somebody else have one? You have one? You knew you had one on Thursday, I could tell. What's your story?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen to each other, guys.
My mom and my aunt were teenagers. They played the Ouija board. And they did it a couple times. and my mom just like didn't want to do it anymore, so she kind of just like put it away. So my aunt was and she so they ended up throwing it away and trying to burn it, but it wouldn't burn. They threw it away in the trash, and it still showed up in like under their bed. And then like even like now, like my mom used to do the well, not my aunt threw it in there, like you're not supposed to throw anything, but they threw it in there. And then my mom said that when she went with my aunt to throw it, that you can hear it like squeaking, like making noise. And my mom would just keep walking, don't look back, just keep walking. And then like even now, like my aunt, like she's fine.
We're telling ghost stories, Daniel. Is there an extra chair that we can get for Daniel?
Yeah.
Or can we fit him in?
Yeah. Come join us.
If you guys scoot over this way, all of us. All right, we're all included in the circle. Okay, good. So that was sort of the culmination. All right.
Yeah, and then like even though my aunt, like she's fine, but like she says she like sees things at my grandma's house, and like I think that's cool, but yeah. And then her daughter was one time we were all at my grandma's house, and her daughter was talking to like the window. And it was like, what's going on with the heck? So then my mom went into the room and was like, hey, like, who are you talking to? She said, oh, I'm talking to grandma. And her grandma, like, passed away. And just like, yeah. So supposedly she was in the window and she was talking to me.
Hi. We're telling ghost stories. Come in quietly. Find a spot. Can we make a spot for Victoria in the circle? That is a really spooky story.
My mom has a spot. That's the only one that I remember.
Good spooky story having. Can we, let's see, is there a way? Can you guys look around and see if there's a way?
Yes.
There we go. Christian.
No, just stay. Done.
You're good. Perfect. And you know what? The good thing is we can just leave the desks like this for the next time. We don't have to change them up. All right. Good. Thank you, Sarah. Does anybody else have one?
It's not mine personally.
That's okay. Okay.
I'm gonna cover it up.
All right.
Say it
You
loud
gotta be
enough.
able to hear what you're saying. All right.
So my sister, she used to have like imaginary friends, but they weren't so much imaginary friends. Yeah. And so she used to have a babysitter, and the babysitter would say that she could go back to like talking to people and like in another room. And then she would go to the room to like see who she's talking to, like what she's doing. And then my sister would get mad at her because her friend would get stepped off so like he didn't want to be seen by her or whatever. So he would like jump out the window, like leave the room really quickly, or like go and hide. But then like the babysitter was like, I'm only babysitting you, there's no other person here. And she was like, yeah, there's another kid here, you know, playing with things that are living there. But they just
That's super creepy. Ghost children. Okay. Thank you, Kylie. You had a name? Ugh. All right. Anybody else? Does anybody else have one they want to share? Only two, guys? Come on.
I can do another one.
Huh?
I can do another one.
Great. Sarah's got another one. All right, guys.
So my older cousin, he was living at my grandma's house one whose house was
Stop
haunted.
talking.
And it was like 2 or 3
Can you
years.
start again? I got distracted by shushing people. Thank you.
So my older cousin, he was living at my grandma's house for a little bit, for the one that her house is haunted.
Mm-hmm.
And he was sleeping, and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And he woke up because he heard like a noise, like if someone was dragging something, like something heavy. And he went outside and there was nothing. And then in the back of my grandma's house, there's like this big round thing. And he it noticed that like whenever they would wet the grass, like it would just circle around and wouldn't really do anything right there. then they like asked like the city like what was that, and he said that it was like a tunnel. They think it's a tunnel for like, you know, because my grandma's house is old, it's super old, and because the guy who used to live there before used to be in the military or like the army, and he was obsessed with like guns and everything, and he actually committed suicide by shooting himself in my cousin's room in the back. So like, so that's why we were thinking. Like he went and like there was nothing there, but he said that it sounded like someone was dragging something really heavy, and he looked and there was like nothing there.
Oh.
Is the Ouija board still there?
No, they finally got rid of the Ouija board.
Oh, I was gonna say, cause
Remember, they
that's
threw it into a
technically
ditch and
already.
it screamed.
I was gonna say, cause that's already like a grave.
Did you see it? That's where he hit his head.
The chair.
It was big, like he didn't see it.
I got scared. I got
Be careful! Put your hands there so it doesn't happen again.
No, cause I was gonna say if the Ouija,
Guys,
I was gonna say if the Ouija board was still there, it's technically buried in a grave. So.
Anybody else? I have like 2 more theater ghost stories that are different from Ruth. Like everything I have is theater ghost. Every theater is on Ruth.